everybody, and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Cayley. I'm an online reseller. I go to thrift stores, I buy items at an affordable cost, and I flip them on sites like eBay and Poshmark. You could say that I'm constantly looking for a good deal. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can do the same by showing you what sold from last week. So every week I come on and I share what sold from the previous week on the sites that I sell on. I will share my sales numbers with you, a little bit about my costs, as well as show you some highlighted sales so that you know what items you can look for at your thrift store to flip online. Before we jump into today's video, I wanted to take a moment to talk about today's video sponsor. As I said, I really love looking for a good deal, and since I always thrift, I pretty much never pay full price for anything now. When Dossier said they wanted to partner with me, I was super excited to try out these perfumes. Dossier is an online fragrance company that takes inspiration from luxury perfumes and colognes. They recreate those scents, but at a much more affordable cost. So basically, you're getting the same luxury scent for way less. One thing I really love about Dossier is that they send you a tester as well as a full size. They let you use up the tester to see if you actually like the scent. If you like it, you keep the full size. If you don't like it, you can send back the full size for a refund. It's pretty much risk-free to ensure that you can get a scent that you actually like. They come in really nice packaging, and although it's affordable, it feels very expensive. This is a great way to treat yourself without breaking the bank. This month, I tried Aquatic Peony and Floral Pear. I chose those scents based on the top notes that were on the website about these fragrances. The Aquatic Peony takes inspiration from a Giorgio Armani scent, and I really liked that scent. I could totally see incorporating that one into an everyday perfume. I also tried Floral Pear. I mainly got this one because, as you guys know, I absolutely love bergamot, and that was the #2 top note on this card. This one was inspired by a Jo Malone perfume, and I also really like this one. So this Floral Pear one has pear, bergamot, watermelon, rhubarb, and then the middle notes are quince, I don't know how to pronounce that, rose, freesia, orange blossom, and then the base notes are woody notes, musk, and amber. Those are like all scents that I really love, so paired together, I absolutely love this scent. This is, again, the full-size bottle, really nice magnetic top. Again, feels very expensive without actually being expensive. You can go on their website and take their online quiz to help you find your next scent. Use my exclusive link below and coupon code 10Cayley for a discount. Let me know which ones you guys are trying. All right, let's jump back into today's sales. Right, so all of the sales included in this report happened between Sunday, August 1st through Saturday, August 7th. Was a pretty slow week for me. I only sold 50 items between 3 different platforms. That's eBay, Poshmark, and then this other one, just the one sale, is from Mercari. I will mention again that I am moving away from Mercari, so I'm just letting sell off whatever is on there. Not adding anything new. So these are just sales from letting those items sit there. So I sold 50 items in total for a gross sales total of $1,740.68, making my average sale price $34.81. Typically, I'm picking up items for between $4 and $5 each. And then I do want to mention that I do pay fees and I do pay supplies. Those are going to vary for every person, but on each platform there are varying fees. There are different supplies it takes. And then on eBay and Mercari, I do have to pay for shipping. So just keep that in mind as you are hearing these numbers. So on eBay, I sold 27 items. On Poshmark, I sold 22, and then just one on Mercari. Gross sales on eBay were $1,121.68. On Poshmark, they were $587, and then just $32 on Mercari. Let's dive into some of these highlighted sales. I sold this Club Monaco, which is not normally a brand that I pick up every time I come across it. It actually retails for a ton, but does not have a good sell-through rate in my opinion, but I picked this one up because it's a good brand paired with cashmere. And whenever you find a high retailing brand paired with cashmere, usually it will sell for a decent amount and typically pretty quickly. So this one was a cable knit, which again I think ups the value. Cable knit sweater by Club Monaco, cashmere, size small. Had this one listed for $48.99. It sold on an offer for $41.64. I wanted to show this brand because it typically has a pretty high sell-through rate. The brand is James Purse, and this was a women's wool cowl neck sweater. I believe James Purse has their own sizing basically, so you do kind of like Chico's and Torrid have to go to their size chart. A size 1 in James Purse is equivalent to a size small, so you'll see I put both in my title. This one sold on an offer for $22.49. I would keep your eye out for this brand. It doesn't always sell for a ton, but like I said, has a very high sell-through rate and a following. I've had some really good Pendleton sales lately. I think it's because we're moving towards colder weather and people are starting to get their jackets and coats early. So this is Pendleton. They are best known for their wool pieces and their Western Aztec pieces. This one was a wool car coat and it had a herringbone pattern, which in my opinion adds value when those things are paired together. Really nice, barely used men's coat. This does take quite a bit of space to store and doesn't always sell very quickly, but in my opinion, these are always worth picking up because they do sell for so much. So this one I sold for my full asking price of $74.92. This is a brand I've only found once, but I've heard other resellers talk about it. I just don't think that this brand is very popular in my area, but it does have a pretty high sell-through rate and a following. So if you come across it, I would say that it's worth looking into. The brand is Dark Seas, and this was just a Dark Seas t-shirt. Had a cool like tattoo like graphic on the back. This one I had listed for $24.94 and it did sell at my full asking price. $25 for a used t-shirt is really good, so whenever I can find brands that do sell for $25 or up for a pre-owned t-shirt, I almost always get them because t-shirts are so easy to list. I wanted to show this sale because I had so much interest on this. This is just Moda International. I don't really think the brand matters, but what does matter is the style of this dress. So it is a vintage, just form-fitted, sleeveless dress. If you come across this exact cut in a dress, I would say it's worth picking up. I had so much interest in this dress. Now, with that being said, it did only sell for $24.95, but I do feel like this is something other resellers would pass on because the brand isn't there. But if you know that this style sells well, then you can pick them up because other resellers won't be. But again, I had a ton of interest on this, and it did sell fairly quickly for about $25. So keep your eye out for these vintage fitted sleeveless midi dresses. This is the brand J. McLaughlin, also in my opinion a high sell-through rate brand. It has a following, and by looking at the tag, I hate to say it, but I used to come across this and I didn't know what it was, and by looking at the tag I didn't think it was anything special, so I didn't pick it up. Later found out that that was not the case. So J. McLaughlin for me is very similar to Lilly Pulitzer. They have a lot of really nice crazy patterns, crazy prints, and they're pretty easy to spot. The nicer the print, I do think the more you'll get for the item. So this one was just kind of like a scarf print top, and I had it listed for $39.96. It sold on an offer for $35.96. Okay, this next one is a brand I wanted to show because I was unaware of this brand, but the brand is called Bika Chia, I think is how you pronounce it. And I found out that this is an Anthropologie brand. So this is just a leather slouchy handbag. It did have a little bit of wear on it because it was pre-owned, but otherwise, I mean, it was in excellent condition for being pre-owned. I actually thought I would have to sit on this longer, but to my surprise, it ended up selling pretty quickly on an offer for $32. And again, I just wanted to show this brand in handbags because I was unaware that this was an Anthropologie brand, and it was my first time coming across it. So if you come across this, definitely do a comp, but I think it might be worth picking up in the future. Okay, next one is Crocs. Crocs I come across pretty often. However, people love their Crocs and they're usually pretty beat up. These ones actually did have a little bit of wear to them. You can see the tread on the bottom is starting to fade off. But Crocs in general, guys, I would say just have a really great sell-through rate. They're so popular right now. This one we accepted an offer for $30. But again, that's a pre-owned pair of slip-on shoes. And if you come across these at the bins, because they are very lightweight, you're not going to be paying much for them compared to other shoes. So I do think that they're worth picking up. A lot of people pass on Crocs because they don't think they're worth anything, but they do have a very high sell-through rate. Also, something with a high sell-through rate is the brand Torrid. So as I talked about before with that James purse, this is a size 2 in Torrid, which is equivalent to a size 2X. So they have their own size chart, just something to be aware of. And this was just a smocked ruffle mini dress. It sold very quickly for my full asking price of $24.97. Here's a brand I think we pretty much all know about. It is Lululemon. This one surprisingly did have the tags attached. We actually found this at the bins. I know. It was in a bin full of Lululemon that everyone else had already picked through. I don't know how they missed this as well as some of the other pieces, but we snatched them all up. This is a really nice goose down jacket, which goose down always adds value, but paired with Lululemon, you're looking at really good profits. So I was able to quickly look up the style number for this because it was on the tag, and this was called the Down for It All Magma Jacket. The reason I bring up Lululemon is not because I don't think other resellers know about it. I think we pretty much all know Lululemon, but the reason I bring it up is because it's really starting to drop off in the reseller world. So things that used to sell for a lot are now sitting and selling for probably half the price you used to be able to get for it. So I think the market has become pretty flooded. So the reason I bring this up is because when it comes to Lululemon, I would highly suggest you don't continue picking up every single piece you come across. Highly recommend. This is one of those brands you have to look up the style number to figure out the style name. And if you don't have the number on the tag, because this is usually gone, you can also look up, try to find the size dot inside of whatever garment you have. And if there are letters or numbers around the size dot, you can look it up that way too. And you'll have to figure out how to do that on your own. It's a quick Google search. I learned how to do it myself this month. Super easy, but really important before you pick up Lululemon that you are looking up the exact style name and then doing your comps with that style name. So with that in mind, we did pick this up. It sold very quickly on an offer for $85. Again, something we picked up at the bins that everyone else had passed on because they were not being thorough enough. Next up is by J. Jill. This is a J. Jill floral dress. Mention it a lot, but J. Jill and all of its lines are something that we pretty much pick up every single week. It's pretty bread and butter for us. We come across it very often. We definitely don't pick up every piece. We do specific comps on what it is we have, but this one was a very on-trend dress, which is why we picked it up. Had this one listed for $24.97. It sold on an offer for $22.47. Next up is one of my favorite men's brand jeans to sell. It is BKE. These are sold at Buckle, and anytime you see a man's name on the BKE jeans, you should automatically know that those are men's jeans, and they are probably worth picking up. Super easy to do comps because you can just look up BKE men's Aiden jeans, and then you'll see that they have a really good sell-through rate and know about what to price them for. So these ones were the Aiden, and they ended up selling extremely quickly for full asking price of $29.97. All right, next up is some Poshmark items. I actually found this at the bins as well. It felt very thick and very high quality, which made me think that it was probably worth picking up. I don't typically like to pick up Disney, and I don't typically like to pick up kids pieces, but this one just felt very high quality. It felt very heavy. Felt like maybe it was something everybody couldn't get, and I figured it would go for a lot. So anyways, this jacket is a Disney girls kid size Descendants EV faux leather jacket. So we did find very good comps on this, and it ended up selling on Poshmark surprisingly for an offer of $35. And again, we found these at the bins. If you come across anything really thick and heavy costume like from Disney, I'd say definitely do a comp on it, even if it is kids, because some of this stuff is going for a lot, and I know Descendants is really popular right now. Next is a pair of Vince Camuto shoes, booties. I don't pick up Vince Camuto a whole lot, but these were in really excellent condition. They were a size 10, and the style name is right on the inside. So I basically just looked that up with the size, knew that they were in really excellent condition. They sold for an offer of $34. As we move towards fall and winter, I do keep my eye out for nice leather boots. Also, a leather shoe. These are by Eileen Fisher. I have been sitting on these for a little while. They did have a little bit of wear, but they were really nice, soft, supple leather. Pretty much anything Eileen Fisher I pick up. Maybe that's a mistake, but I have really good luck with this brand. These are a really nice style, but again, they did have a little bit of wear. They ended up selling on an offer for $40. If you come across Eileen Fisher shoes, I'd say they're definitely worth at least doing a quick comp on, because in my opinion they sell pretty well. Something else that sells really well are American Eagle distressed shorts. I say this, I think, pretty much every single what sold video, but I pick these up all the time. They usually sell between $20 and $25, but sometimes for more. So these ones actually sold for $29, and they were a size 0, which is really surprising to me that they sold for that much. I figured they'd go for $20, $25 on an offer, but they sold for $29. When it comes to American Eagle jeans shorts, I always look for distressing or larger sizes. So if I just saw this size 0 with no distressing, I probably wouldn't pick it up. Or if I saw a size 12, 14, 16, but it didn't have distressing, I would probably pick it up because of the larger size. But those two things for me add value in American Eagle jean shorts. Here is an outlier. So here's a little story about this shirt. So I picked this up at a regular Goodwill. I wasn't sure if it was authentic or not. It felt authentic. It looked authentic. The tag based on other sold comps look authentic. It did have a little spot as well as a little hole. But I figured it would be worth taking the chance on. Because I'm leery on luxury brands and whether they're authentic or not, I don't tend to pick them up because I get worried that if I put them on eBay, my account will get shut down if they end up not being authentic. And because I buy them from thrift stores, I really don't have anything to prove that they are indeed authentic. So what I've learned to do is to send these things to the RealReal or to ThreadUp so that they can authenticate it and can be sold on there. So I tried to do that with this shirt. I sent it to the RealReal. They did say that it was authentic. However, they did not accept it because of that small spot, because of the hole, and because the material tag was no longer attached. So because they came back and said that it was authentic, but those were the reasons they weren't keeping it, I decided to just list it on Poshmark, not on eBay, because again, I'm worried about my account getting shut down, but I haven't really had any issues on Poshmark. This sold very quickly after getting it listed on Poshmark, so I don't know what I was so worried about. But I am happy with that sale. But that's the little journey of this Gucci shirt. If you're worried about something being authentic, I would suggest sending it to ThreadUp or the RealReal and just see what you can get out of it there. Or in my opinion, I kind of just avoid luxury in general because there's just so much that goes into it. But this turned out to be a really nice sale, and it did sell for $95. Very happy with that. Next up is a pair of Altered State pants. I'm very selective with this brand, but I do come across it pretty often. I picked these up because I've noticed that these pull-on bell-bottom pants are very popular this year. Kind of festival-looky, kind of hippie-looking, kind of boho. All of those things I think is why this particular style is doing well in a lot of brands. I've sold some Free People bell-bottom pull-on pants like this, and they did really well. And so that's why I went ahead and took a chance on this style with this brand. And I'm glad I did because it ended up selling for $30. Definitely want to do your comps, but what I do is I take the brand and I just look up bell-bottom pants. And usually you can tell pretty quickly if they're going to sell quickly or not. I was hesitant to show this sale, but I'm going to show it anyways. I'm hesitant because every time I show a brand that clearly does not have good resale value, in most cases, people just get so mad. They get so stirred up. They don't understand how I can sell exhilaration, kimonos for what I do, how I can sell Alfred Dunner or different Target brands. Guys, it's all about the style. I just know that I'm going to get comments about this, but I picked this up regardless of it being Alfred Dunner, which is definitely not a brand I recommend you picking up, but I picked this up because it had a really nice pattern to it, and it was a really high quality feeling floral fleece jacket. Also gives me kind of that grandma core, kind of bohemian vibes, and so with the right keywords, it got to the right buyer that would want this jacket, and I got $40 for it. Amazing. So sometimes it's not about brand, guys. Sometimes it is strictly about style and what is trending right now. Next is a really high sell-through rate brand that I pretty much always pick up. The brand is Chubbies, which if you see that, I mean, that doesn't look like a very special tag for me, but amazing sell-through rate. And some of them with prints and stuff sell for crazy amounts of money. These were just a pair of plain khaki shorts, but they sold almost immediately for $27. If you come across Chubbies in men's, kids, definitely worth getting. Here is another Lululemon piece. Again, I bring this up not because I don't think you know what Lululemon is, but just to reiterate that when it comes to this brand, I really suggest that you look up this particular style. So we were able to figure out the style name by searching this W all the way through, I think, the S or the X. It's like a chunk of these. If you're unsure, just look up on Google how to figure out style name based on the size dot. You'll probably come to the same website I did that talks about which parts to look up. But that's how we figured out the style name for this. And then we did comps on that particular style, and then we decided to pick it up. So this one sold very quickly. It was called the Light as Warmth jacket, and it sold for $50. I would say in general, if for some reason you're out of service or whatever, and you can't look up the style name or you can't find it on Google, in general, Lululemon outerwear, jackets and stuff still do really well. It's the like tank tops that you want to be careful about. Next is a pair of Under Armour shoes. These are the Bozeman women's hunting hiking boot. Waterproof Under Armour hiking boots. I have found that Under Armour and camo do really well together. So if you see anything Under Armour and camo, I would do a quick comp because it seems to have a really good sell-through rate. These ones in particular were just a really nice boot with camo, and they sold for $50. From what I can tell, it's a pretty popular style in Under Armour. This one I have been sitting on forever, but I figured I would show it because I had, as you can see, a ton of interest on this. This is just a pot I picked up from a thrift store. I don't even remember what thrift store, it's been so long, but I picked it up because this is when the bohemian western trend was going on, and I thought it was really like spot on. I ended up getting $55 for this, and it did arrive to the buyer safely. Got good feedback on it. I'm personally not going to be picking up a whole lot of breakables unless I'm going to be selling them on Facebook Marketplace for local pickup, because I hate shipping items that I'm worried about are going to break. But if you're somebody that has your breakable shipping game on point, this kind of stuff is selling right now when it is the Western Bohemian style.
So this one sold for $55. I am glad with the return on investment, but not happy to ship stuff like this. Another example of picking something up based on style and not on brand. The brand is Day Trip, which is not a bad brand, but doesn't typically sell for a lot. But I picked this one up again because it had a really great Western blanket style. This was also a really nice like wrap asymmetric jacket. It was made out of wool, and this sold for $46. Last up is just that one sale offer from Mercari. This is a North Face kids jacket. I say it a lot, but I don't frequently pick up kids stuff anymore. But when I do come across a kids piece, it's usually a kid's size of something I would pick up in adult sizing. So I think of the North Faces, the Patagonias, the Levi's denim jackets. It's typically something like that, where it's just a kid's version of something I would pick up in the adult section. I don't typically go looking for kids only brands. But I did find this one in good comps. I listed this for $36 and ended up taking an offer of $32 with free shipping, and this did go first class, so it only cost a few bucks to ship.
Alright guys, so that is it for what sold last week. I hope that you guys enjoyed watching. Don't forget, if you're not already, to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. That way you get notified as I make new content. I make videos all about online reselling, and here lately a little bit about behind the scenes on YouTube. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up on your way out if you like this video, and as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.